Good morning. My name's Donna Baker. I'm the Director of Operations at the Jefferson Area Board of Aging, and I'm presenting today with Billy Campbell, who's with the Thomas Jefferson Area Planning District Commission, and she can tell you more about what she does. I've been lucky enough to work with Billy in a wide variety of areas for many years now, above and beyond JABA. We are talking about the 2020 plan. How many people know about the 2020 plan? Okay, a few. Good. For those of you who don't, up here on the piano, I believe that is, I have executive summaries that are available. I was not going to print out the entire 97-page document for everybody. I've skimmed it. I actually skimmed it for my job interview at JABA. It's not that exciting. But there's a lot of interesting information in there. As you all know, we're in the middle of an age wave. The baby boomers are retiring 10,000 a day. Started that in about 2010. They end with me. I'm the last baby boomer of the generation. And we know in Central Virginia, in addition to knowing statistically that 1 in 4 people by 2025 are going to be at the age of 65 and older, we're actually going to be increasing our population probably more than that, because Central Virginia is a really popular place to retire. So knowing that this age wave was coming, knowing that there's a lot of popularity about living here in Central Virginia, a group of people came together in, I think it was 2001. There were 85 organizations that were involved. Over 500 people were involved throughout the process, and they talked about what should Central Virginia look like for retirees. What are we going to look like in 2020, 2025? There was that infamous 97-page report was published. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you click, Christian? That final report was published in 2003, which was, wow, 11 years ago, and demographics are changing faster than we even imagined. So it's time to look at the 2020 plan again. The overall goal of the plan, click please, was really to make sure we could provide supports and services for people to age gracefully and successfully and safely in the environment of their choosing. It's also a lot of terminology that we use at JABA on a regular basis. The goal looked at coordinated and accessible health care, supporting independence and lifelong health, offering choices around living options. Not everybody wants to go to an assisted living facility or a continuing care community. A lot of people want to live at home. How can we help them make that happen? How can this community help them make that happen? PACE. I'm sorry, Betty's over here. But it's also the Coordinated Commonwealth Care Act or Coordinated Commonwealth Care, that's Commonwealth Coordinated Care, that's it, that's in place this year that actually the governor was talking about just yesterday. We want to have communities that enhance the quality of life. And what does that mean for people? Well, it means places have to be handicap accessible. It means homes have to be handicap accessible without a lot of additional work that has to be done. Because as our friends at Posner just told us, we may not have the money when we're 75 or 80 to make extensive home renovations. So it really is a way for the community to look, the entire community. We want to make sure our seniors who are living longer are actively engaged and are productive citizens. We do a lot of that through volunteering. We do that at the Senior Center. We do that through JABA. We do that through United Way. Also, as part of the process, one of the things that we talked about was, what's the intergenerational aspect? What can our seniors teach our kids? What can our kids teach our seniors? How can we work together to make sure that we have a community that's really good for everybody? One of the things that, click please, that was really important to us is, you'll see the plan did win the Livable Communities for All Ages Award. That's that inclusive piece that we need to talk about it. We're not just talking about people who are 75, 85. We're talking about the entire community, and that's what's important to us. The plan won that award, the Livable Communities for All Ages, but our planning district, actually in 2012, won an award for Best Intergenerational Community. We've been working towards these goals for the past 10, 12 years, and we know it's time to update that. With that said, I'm going to pass it over to Billy.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Billy Campbell from the Thomas Jefferson Planning District Commission. I'm glad that the snow did not keep you away today and that we're all here to learn more about the update of the 2020 plan. I asked Donna to stick on this slide before I moved on because I wanted to take a moment before talking about the update process just to recognize how groundbreaking and important this event was. The process was a huge community effort. So many organizations and so many people involved, and we were one of the few communities in the country to develop a plan on aging. And so we really are now kind of here to pass the baton a bit, but before we do that, we just want to recognize the vision and the leadership and just the sheer hard work that JABA did in creating this plan in the first place. And so just to symbolically applaud that, we will actually applaud. So if you can join me with that. Okay, so Gordon Walker probably heard that wherever he was. So thank you very much. Okay, slide. Okay, one of the things of many things that came out of the 2020 plan was an initiative that is called Livable for a Lifetime. So that has not been meeting for the full 10 years since the plan came out, but has been meeting since about 2006. So the anchor kind of tenants in the Livable for a Lifetime initiative were JABA, the Planning District, and Piedmont Housing Alliance. And the focus of this group is to work through education and advocacy to make our community more livable, more accessible. So it's not just universal design in homes, having zero-step entrance and wide doorways and accessible bathrooms, but also looking at the community so that people, as we age, can continue to be involved in the community, can get in and out of their houses, and can really live a full life. So that has been the focus of this group. Over the years, we have done a number of projects. We've had some events, some displays. We've done a universal design display at the Blue Ridge Home Builders Association Home and Garden Show, and I must say that in the early days that was pretty tough going. We put our display up there and people would say, I don't need that, and just walk by. But we have found as we have gone back that people are saying, yeah, we're thinking about doing some remodeling and we really want to incorporate some of these features. So there's been a greater sense of openness, recognition that as you change, that your house needs to be flexible and adaptable enough to be able to adapt to your needs. And so we've been gratified to see that there's a change in attitude about that. So we do have a website. It's got a section on home modification that kind of walks you through some of the simple things you could do, some of the more complex things you can do, and some materials from events that we have done in the past. Slide. As I mentioned, our kind of initial partnership was really JABA, Piedmont Housing Alliance, and the Planning District, but over the years we have grown. We have representatives now from the city of Charlottesville. Jim Herndon is our representative from that. County of Albemarle, George Shadman often comes to this group and is doing a spotlight at the next meeting. Juanita Gear, where's Juanita? There she is, on the Institute on Aging is part of that group. Peter Thompson from the Senior Center has recently kind of upped his activity within this because of this initiative that we're doing to update the 2020 plan, but has been involved in some ways throughout the process. And Elizabeth is our representative from the Aging in Place Business Roundtable. We also have a representative from the Disability Services Board, from Builderfish, which is a contractor that specializes in incorporating these kinds of features in construction, and a group from Harrisonburg, the Universal Design Partners. So we're pleased that this has grown. Part of the conversation about updating the plan actually took place at one of our Livable for a Lifetime meetings. We meet most months. We take 1 month off in the summer. And a few months ago, we were talking about conversations that many of us in the group had had with a representative from the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging. So N4A is what they call themselves, and they are starting a new initiative working with communities to really incorporate age-friendly concepts into the design and planning and built environment in their communities. And so they had talked to some of us about what we had done. They knew that we were kind of a groundbreaking community, wanted to know about the 2020 plan, wanted to know about some of the partnerships that we've done. And as we talked about it and we looked at some of the information that we'd done, a summary that we did for the Older Dominion Partnership, it's like 2003. The plan is starting to show a little age itself, and maybe we need to kind of take a look. And so as we talked about that as a group, we said, so how would this go about? What would happen? What could be in place in order for an update to happen? And we decided that we were the logical group to really kind of head the effort. And so we have stepped forward as the Livable for a Lifetime initiative, really to head up the effort to update the 2020 plan, and the L4L steering committee will actually serve as the steering committee for the effort. So what we want to do when we update the plan is to really take a look at what has changed. The existing conditions back in 2001 are a lot different than the existing conditions that we have now in 2014. So let's just take a little poll. This plan was developed between 2001 and 2003. So think about where you were then. How many of you are at the organization you're at now doing what you're doing now? Okay, and how many of you are working for places that didn't exist in 2003? Okay, so we have a lot of new players and a lot of new activity, and so we want to capture that when we update the plan. The plan that we've passed out here is kind of the summary of the plan. As Donna mentioned, the plan itself is quite hefty. We're not really rewriting the plan, but we are kind of refreshing primarily the action plan. And so what we want to do is focus on developing an action plan with updated goals and objectives. So that is kind of the overarching goal of the plan, of the update. We do have some additional goals. We really want to celebrate all the things that have happened over the past 10 years. We celebrate that every month right here in this room, but we want to celebrate it more formally and document some of those things through this process, because the landscape is really much different now than it was 10 years ago. We want to invite you. We're working from the list of the acknowledgments that were in the 2020 plan, and what we're finding is that those people don't work there anymore. They've retired. Those companies or agencies or organizations don't exist anymore, and there's all kinds of new things. And so we really want to embrace all those new initiatives and bring them into this update effort, because as we look forward, you're going to be important players in carrying out the work. We do want to shorten the document. We're not going to rewrite the plan, and what we're thinking is that the plan will probably be more like the summary in terms of its length, and really be focused more on action. We hope to kind of really create timelines and lead partners and specific actions that we can measure as part of the plan, so that we've got a little bit of a blueprint to move forward. We're not sure kind of what time frame we're aiming for yet, but as we move through the process, we'll kind of decide what time horizon we're taking a look at. One of the things we want to do is to foster greater community ownership of the plan. Even at the last Livable for a Lifetime meeting, I said, job is 2020 plan. And I've hear people call it that. And we want now to really take that out and to not think that this is job as responsibility to kind of carry out the plan, but really have it be a community document that is embraced by the community and is being moved forward by the community. Slide. So here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to establish a steering committee. That was easy. We named the Livable for a Lifetime to be the steering committee. And we do want to set up committees. Right now we don't even know what those committees would be, and we probably won't know for a little while. We're doing community presentations. You are the guinea pigs for that. So thank you very much for letting us come here today to do this. And engage community partners. We have we've drafted and are kind of finalizing the invitation letter and working on the distribution list for an invitation letter to engage both partners who were part of the initial effort and new folks. And so hopefully that will be going out within the next few weeks. We have a survey that is online now. You'll hear about the link to that on our handout and in a slide a little bit later. But what we are asking people to do is we just have a list really of the goals and objectives in the plan. Is this still appropriate? Have we finished it? Did we accomplish it? Does it just need to be reworked? We're just looking for input on what the current goals and objectives are. And then we're planning a community kickoff meeting in May. We've actually set the date for that, the 29th. Okay. So that's kind of what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 months. And then after that, kind of kick off and getting kind of organized and getting ourselves ready to action. We think it's going to take about a year to actually go through the update of the plan. So one of the things we're planning on doing is using a tool that was actually created through the Livable Communities Project, where we tagged goals and objectives from over 82 community plans in our area, which included the 2020 plan, and mine that for goals and objectives that might be pertinent to what we're talking about. And we're going to do that for 2 reasons. One, we kind of want to see what the critical mass is, because if you've got people talking about the same thing, it's going to be easier to mobilize them for action. And the other thing we're looking for is lead partners. Who's going to lead this? Because if folks have identified this as a goal and objective of their own, then we want to engage them in the process. Then we're going to hold a series of topical workshops. And so we're not exactly sure how that will be organized, maybe just around topical areas like transportation, housing, healthcare, community engagement. So we just need to kind of name what those are going to be so that we can really delve into those issues. We recognize that there's a lot of interrelationship between the issues, but it'll give us an opportunity to kind of focus in and hone in on a particular area of the plan. And then we're going to draft the plan. Oh, we are going to update demographic data, sorry, just to get the new census data and the new community survey data in there. And then once we kind of work through then all of the material that we receive from all of that stuff, we will draft a plan, and then we'll bring folks back together to see if we're really accurately representing what we've heard. So that's a lot of kind of the groundwork. This is really in the trenches to do that. So our goal is to finalize the update of the plan a year from May in 2015. Okay, slide. Oh, sorry. Donna's turn. So I will be coming around with a flyer that's got some information on the plan and links to the survey, and Donna's just going to introduce you to the survey and other things.
This is sort of the cheerleading part, because obviously we're here because we're going to need partners. And what can you do to help? We've got a list. Billy is passing out a flyer that has a link to the survey. We hope that each of you will take the survey, and I personally challenge you to send it to 5 other people and invite them to take the survey. It's not extensive, but we do want input. And keep in mind, too, while this is the Charlottesville Aging in Place Business Roundtable, this plan is for the planning district. And it's going to cover Louisa, Green, Fluvanna, Nelson, Albemarle. So we do want to make sure that this information goes far and wide and outside of the borders of just Charlottesville. Save the date, May 29th from 4 to 5:30. We're going to have our first meeting for potential community partners. It's going to be at the Senior Center. We hope that you all will put that on your calendar now. We're giving you plenty of advance notice, and I have a feeling reminders will show up throughout the next few meetings of this group. But we hope that you put that on your calendar now and plan to meet with us in May. The hard part, but many of us are used to this. Please say yes if you're asked to do something. It may not be joining a committee. It could be just helping with a small part. But as I mentioned earlier, there was over 500 people that were involved through community work sessions, through different meetings, presentations. It's so important to get that wide community base and input. So if there's a small piece that you can do, if there's a large piece you can do, lean towards saying yes instead of saying, I'm just too busy right now. That would really be helpful as we move forward. Slide. Just so you know, I'm actually standing in for Marta Kane today. She couldn't be here today because she's out of town. She's been representing JABA at the Livable for a lifetime. Feel free to email any of us if you have any questions. Billy and Marta will certainly be taking the lead on that. I will make sure you get the answer you need. Maybe forwarding it to somebody else, but I will make sure you get the answer you need. And please do, think about what you can do or what you'd like to do in the future. And thank you in advance for everything you do here to make life better for seniors and how you'll be able to help our community really plan for a future. So thank you very much.